And now, a special message from the Lord High Protector of Tyladoria. Good evening, fellow Tyladorians and members of the Tyladorian Commonwealth. As you know, it has been a very rough week for all of us here in the nation, especially in the capital of Maple Leaf. Now, I know that we've had a few setbacks, and there have been countless hours of citizens crying themselves to sleep, and lots of other issues. But the main part is very clear, that we Tyladorians, we're gonna keep on surviving. We can all relax, sit back, take a load off, because we all know that in the end, it's probably gonna work out. Now, I'm not saying I'm for anything or against anything. I'm just specifically trying to tell you, the fellow citizens of Tyladoria, that this whole current weekly issue is very, very blash. I mean, we've survived everything else. Natural disasters, catastrophes, the electrical outage of, 12 and 08, the freezing cold winter of 09, may I remind you, which was a very, very rough one. The Cold War in Macedonia, the war with Rhodania, in which we may or may not have sacrificed some of our allied troops to save our own asses. But the main part here is that we Tyladorians always find a way to manage. And I know that your family, just like mine, is trying to find a way out of here. Now, I was asked by my youngest son today, Evan, and he asked me, "Dad, when are you going to bring the CDs back?" And I thought to myself, I don't know, son, but I'm going to sometime. But that had nothing to do with his next question, in which he asked, "Dad, why is this happening to our nation?" And I just couldn't look him straight in the face and tell him why. The meaning part here, Tyladoria is going through some issues. I'm sorry. I apologize. I know that our death councils for medical aid isn't helping. I know that our financial budget isn't really the best, but we're at least trying some new things. I mean, look at all this paperwork. This paperwork requires a lot of looking at, and I've looked at all these papers and thought of ideas, plans, but nothing can add up to what I want to give to you, the people, the citizens of Tyladoria. And I know when I took office in that very, very deadly and violent coup, that I pledged myself to you. Not me. Okay, maybe a little bit of me, but mostly at least 84% to you. And I'm going to keep that promise. Now, you're probably wondering, "Gosh, Lord High Protector, please tell me we're not going to have a totalitarian regime." Well, don't lose any sleep. It's going to be authoritarian, which is completely different, I think. I don't know. I don't really care anymore. But I'm just trying to tell you, everything's going to be A-okay. Now, on to the next subject. What to do about the other parts that we're claiming of Rhodania. Now, as you may know, ever since the weird disappearance of Rhodania, we have decided to at least edit up the map a little bit and claim some more territories for ourselves. Now, we're hoping that these territories will be filled with gold, or lots of other supplies. However, there might be dangerous natives there, so what we have to do is take our tanks and go rummaging through their fields and go bam! Take that, native Frodanians! You get the point. Which is why conscription is now mandatory, and every young man at the age of 18, hell, even 16, will now be a part of the Tyladorian military. I'm sorry, mothers, but your sons have better things to do than sit around their house on their butts, eating popcorn and cookie dough bites, watching their Star Trek marathons, when they could actually be out in the fields, killing some radical terrorist or even a liberal, and fighting for their native fatherland. Are you okay back there, Jack? You keep shaking the camera. I'm kind of scared. Okay, as long as you say you're fine. But the meaning, next subject. Sorry. It's Richard, a pet rock. Sometimes he just gets too out of hand. It's okay, Richard. It's okay. Richard's been kind of worried lately, which is why I'm going to talk to our next subject, the environment. As you know, there's been a lot of issues lately about Tyladoria's fracking policy, which I can tell you is plain and simple, is that we Tyladorians don't like not want fracking not in our area. Yeah. That's the role I'm going to take with that. And I'm sure that you, just like Richard here, loves nature and doesn't want fracking to impede on those rights. And it's not going to. I promise you that as Lord High Protector. There's not going to be any problem with your drinking water like you've seen in those small little parts of Tyladoria where there are some weird zombie things and people dying because of something in their water supply. That's not to be blamed on fracking. We don't know that. The water could have just been poisoned originally, maybe by some sort of minority. Maybe gypsies, you know. What's that? We don't have any gypsies? What do you mean we don't have any gypsies? How do you know? You've done research? What kind of research? I want to see your papers. You don't have the papers? How'd you do the research? Oh. Well, that was very interesting. Anywho, I think I speak for everybody when I say that pet rocks are the best. Next issue that I'm going to address is that I really haven't been doing a very good job of leading this nation. And you know what? I'm going to keep doing that way. But I'm going to make sure that none of you try to assassinate moi. That's why anybody who's even thought of committing treason shall probably be put to death sometime soon. So, yeah. That's about it, I think. I don't think there's any other topics to talk about. Maybe? I'm not sure. Wait, oh yeah, I've got some issues we can talk about here. Recently people have been asking about the Tyladorian citizenship test, and I just want to tell them that we're going to be printing it again. I know, you're all probably happy-go-lucky, and believe me, I can't blame you, because if you want a Tyladorian citizenship test, you're going to get one, or else you won't be let into this country, and as an illegal immigrant, you'll probably be arrested for crossing across our borders, which we do not look highly upon. So, next issue, there's been a little bit of rioting in the small Czechoslovakian regions of Anglo-Zona. We'll try to fix that as much as we can. Maybe install some martial law, you know. Pew, 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 pew. No, seriously, we'll try to do it peacefully. Maybe not. The Irish regiment seems to be doing good. It's under control of my son still. He got me this little froggy. It represents our bonding as father and son. Not as much as my other son, though. I want to kill him. I'm not gonna lie. Horrible child. Now my daughter, she's doing well. She doesn't really concern herself much with Tyladoria, though. The nation, particularly. But, you know, that's just girls. They never find their father's work interesting. Yep. Oh, by the way, in case of an invasion happening to our shores, I want you to know, just give your kids this. Perfectly fine. There's nothing on here that says they could even overdose. Anyway, so just remember, Tyladoria is going to be fine. And most importantly, I'm going to be fine. And that's why I want you to once again re-elect the great Prime Minister of our country, Edward Humperdick. I mean, Popperdickle. Popperdinkle. Edward Humperdinkle. That being said, good night, and God bless Tyladoria. Where's the keys? I gotta get out of here.